Okay. All right, I'm going to go live. All right. Hey there, it's Sadie from All Natural Me. Welcome to day 42 of the 64 Days of Peace and Nonviolence. This is a program from agnt.org. I'm promoting it on allnaturalme.com. Day 42 keeps on going. The thought for today is accountability. This might be like one of those days that we want to skip. Like accountability, who does that? But it is really, really good. So good morning. Yep, we're going to be accountable today. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. In the past, I may have skipped over this day, but it is really good for us to be accountable for our actions and our not actions, right? Sometimes not acting is something just as equally to be accountable for. So, accountability. I did pick a pretty flower. Everyone's invited to visit me on allnaturalme.com. I am excited to see real tulips growing. So anyways, I hope you're doing well. I'm superhuman today. In conflicting situations, personal accountability allows me to take responsibility for how I contribute to a conflict. So that's why I usually want to skip it, because I like to think that I didn't contribute, but I certainly did. I can then make a different choice that can lead to a peaceful resolution. So everyone, welcome. The thought for today is accountability. So that's the practice. It's very simple and precise today. Today, I will be accountable for my words. I'm going to be accountable for the words that I speak. So the practice is, good morning. The practice is, I will make a list of the thoughts I think and the words I speak that are violent, as I slam my hand down on the desk. Now, I don't usually speak rough, violent things. Sometimes. All right, it's accountability. Yeah, I do sometimes. But like, what about the thoughts you think? Now, a violent thought doesn't mean like, I'm going to cut you, buddy, right? It doesn't actually mean like violence at some point. Sometimes a violent thought is something like just profanity or like, screw you, right? F off, right? Like those kinds of things like are actually more violent in nature, right? Than loving. So if it's not love, it's violence. That's kind of the baseline of this program. So today I will be accountable for my words. I will be accountable for the thoughts I think. And the practice is to write down a list of all the words that you speak and all the thoughts that you think that are violent. Now listen, so you're aware of them. So the next step is, every time I become aware of my violent thoughts or words, I will say to myself, delete. I will say to myself, delete, and start again. So I guess it's like a practice, like to really just catch yourself, be aware of it, and then I guess instantly give yourself permission to start again. So I volunteer today. Monday's my day to volunteer with the local teen group. So if they hear me saying, like, they say stuff and I might not respond out loud, but in my head, I'll respond. So I might be saying delete a lot. Delete, delete, here we go. So yeah, interesting timing for this. Yeah. Yeah, you just have to keep telling yourself, delete, right? So I'm glad that we're allowed to delete. And I'm really glad that we're allowed to start again. So the thought for today is accountability. Yeah, this is one of my least favorite days. So Molière, and I probably said that wrong, he was a French playwright. He said, it is not only what we do, but also what we do not do, for which we are accountable. So I can do things and I'm going to be held accountable for those. And I really need to understand that it's the things that I don't do that I could have done that I will also be held accountable for. So he was pretty amazing to say that. It is not only for what we do, but also what we do not do, for which we are accountable. So as adults, or almost adults, I'll be turning 40 next month or in May. So as adults, we must take responsibility for what we say and do not say, what we do and do not do. It is for each of these choices that we will be held accountable. As I take responsibility for my choices, my words, and my actions, I am willing to be held accountable. So that's it, you guys. Be accountable for your words today. And if you want to, make a list of the thoughts you think and the words you speak that are violent. You got to be a big girl to admit that wasn't nice, right? So every time you become aware of your violent thoughts or words, say to yourself, delete, and start again. So I do like that practice, because if I hear a sassy thought in my head, which I do, I can try to reprogram my monkey mind, my monkey brain. I can try to reprogram it and tell myself delete. And then I'll just start again. I'll just try again, right? Just keep trying again. My daughters are going, yep, keep trying, Mom. Good morning, Weston. Okay. So, ready to go deeper with Gandhi? As if that wasn't like enough for one day. We have to be accountable. Now, who knows what Gandhi's going to have us do? What is it, Elaine?
When you said big girls, what about guys?
And big, you have to be a big boy to admit that you are not being nice. It really do. It really do. It really do. Because we don't want to really believe that we did something wrong or we said something harsh or out of line. We don't really want to admit to that ever, that if I hurt your feelings, right? Marley and I hurt your feelings yesterday, and we're sorry. We should be held accountable.
A few days ago, me and my best friend on
we didn't mean to, but we hurt her feelings yesterday. It's hard to admit that, but that's what we did. So anyways, that's what we're talking about today. And Jen says, I'm proud of the words that I did not say. Yeah. And some people, speaking about like people who say rude things, it's like, they have never maybe even thought how to be accountable. So you really almost have to like immediately forgive their ignorance. She just blurted out whatever. It's like you immediately have to like just feel for her that she is not even at that place yet to consider being accountable for her words and actions, right? So mindless that she just said that without thinking. So I guess once you start to just let people be where they're at, just like how some people are rude, mean, violent, and then you just almost have to have compassion for their inability to love, right? So, but they're lessons. They are lessons, Mama. They are just, every time you turn around, the universe is giving you a practice lesson. Can you choose peace? Oop, can you spit on your screen? Can you choose peace? Can you choose love? Can you just pass this little test, right? I know the universe gives them to me. Like, Sadie, I see you trying. Now, let's practice. So you did good. You did good. Hey, you didn't punch nobody. You did good. Oh, yeah, she didn't know what she was doing. Yeah, some people just don't think at all. And so you really can't give them too hard of a time. It's like, well, I can though, right? I can take the higher ground. Hate taking that higher ground. All right, just kidding. I love it. So here's what MK Gandhi said. Now that I'm done spitting around, and here's MK Gandhi. Okay, he said, girls, take that out to the other room. We have exercise balls here. Take them out there, Bear. I claim to be a simple individual, liable to err like any other fellow mortal. I own, however, that I have humility enough to confess my errors and retrace my steps. So Gandhi is taking us deeper on the topic of accountability. He's actually staying on topic today. Good job. So yeah, I can totally, he's in American words, Gandhi's saying, yeah, I can totally screw up just like any other human being. All right. But guess what I do? I have the humility enough to confess my errors and then go back and retrace my steps. Right. I'm no better than anybody, but what I do is go back. I confess, I tell out loud what I did, and I retrace my steps, try to figure it out.
When you spit and I came up with something, if you were a llama, you would be a llama.
I know, isn't that funny? Yeah, I did spit. Okay. Hey, I'm human just like everyone else, and I'm sorry. All right. So the other day we talked about beginner's mind. Once we have attained to beginner's mind, Gandhi calls us to learn humility enough. So another term for our little bag of thoughts here, humility enough. So perhaps one of the most nonviolent systems of thought to arise out of the American experience is that of the 12-step programs. Okay, there's a couple of them, but the 12-step programs. They are programs of profound humility, honesty, self-responsibility, and acceptance. So step 10 of the 12 steps states, continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. So this step states precisely what Gandhi is claiming for himself. So if I'm wrong, I'm going to speak up right now and let you know that I was wrong. We may claim to be in beginner's mind, but unless we openly admit to our mistakes, we are deluding ourselves. It also requires that we acknowledge our mistakes to and at least one other person and then correct the error we made. See, this is why I hate this, because I would just like to admit to myself that I was wrong, but not actually like admit out loud. And this is encouraging us to admit to somebody out loud, let people know that we messed up. This doesn't mean we admit errors to ourselves and then take steps to correct them without anyone knowing. Humility enough means we admit our mistake to at least one other person and then take the steps to correct it. Why do we do that? Why are they suggesting that? Because one of the great dangers for those who are called to a path of change is that we begin to believe our own inerrancy and our invincibility. So the action of admitting it out loud to one or more other people will continue to reinforce the beginner's mind, and will always keep our feet on the path with humility enough. So it basically just keeps us off that high horse of feeling like we never screw up, right? Oh, I don't make mistakes, I'm perfect, right? Well, that's not beginner's mind. And that's not humility enough. So it just keeps us in check. It just keeps us in check as human beings, that when we do make mistakes, we admit them right away, and to the person or to another trusted person, right? If we can't go back to the person that maybe it was someone driving, maybe we were driving, not that I would do this, and somebody is rude to us in traffic and we totally give them the bird, right? Okay, well, that was in the moment. Right? That was in the moment. Okay, so I could just think to myself, well, that was kind of wrong. Maybe you shouldn't do that. But what could even be better for me is, telling my friend, I really just had a lapse in my peace the other day. I had a lapse in my judgment. And this is what I did. And I know you'll just laugh with me and tell me it was no big deal, but like I could really take it a step further and maybe tell somebody. And then doesn't that reinforce my natural humility and my humility enough? I mean, it's just an idea, not that we're going to do this, but it is a great idea to just keep ourselves from just thinking that we never do wrong, right? That we were totally justified in doing that. Well, no, actually, probably not, because that didn't add to peace in the world, did it? So anyways, this is why I love/hate this program, because it gets you thinking and it gets, you to be honest. So I love it and I hate it. So you guys, then I will take whatever actions to correct my error. So after I tell somebody I trust or admit openly to the person, then I will take action. So that's the practice today. Accountability and humility enough. Take it or leave it. All right. And then one more affirmation to end the broadcast before I go off and admit all the dumb things I did. Today, I will treat the elderly I encounter with respect and dignity. So, one more intention. We're going to be accountable for our words and our thoughts and our actions. We're going to have humility enough to be able to admit out loud what we did, and then we'll correct our actions. And then on top of that, when we encounter the elderly today, we will treat them with respect and dignity. Right?
Elderly, do you mean Jane?
Oh, I wouldn't call Jane elderly. But yeah, and elderly people. I mean, be polite to them. They deserve our respect. And they also deserve, don't assume they can't do it either. That's one thing I've learned from, that Dawn in the chat saying, how old is the elderly? Well, when we volunteer today, she may be in her 60s, but that does not count as elderly. We're talking 80s, bro. So, one thing I've learned from my grandma is don't assume she can't do it. She's in her 80s. Many times I offered to wash her dishes while I'm there, and she pretty much bites my head off, because it's like this dignity thing. Like, she can wash her own damn dishes, right? So, I mean, it's a good reminder to, respect the elders in our community and give them the dignity. If they want you can offer your help, but don't offer it in a way that makes them think that they can't do it themselves, because most of them are fully capable.
I respect Grandma Kara because she rides a motorcycle and a four-wheeler.
That's right. Yeah. So, yes. Well, you know what? Don't ever be too hard on yourself, because it's these human moments. If you got riled up, that's okay. Because, there's a lot of energy coming to Earth right now, and anything that we need to clear and transmute and heal, now is the time for it to come to the surface, right? So think of it as a blessing, right? You'll start to bless that ignorant woman, who just said something to trigger you. We'll start to look at it as yeah, I needed that because that got me riled up. I love that word. That got me riled up. And now I know more about myself and what maybe I need to heal or get better at. That gave me an opportunity to forgive. It gave me an opportunity to love somebody who maybe she needed love. You know what I mean? Some people are jerks. And it's because they actually need probably more love than most people, right? So we're all on a healing journey. And anything that comes to the surface, really try to do the work. Think about what it is that's asking to be addressed, right? So there could be a lot in it, right? So I mean, it may have been about race, right? We really need to heal a lot of energy in our lives about racial division and for the collective. So a lot of stuff comes up so you can heal it for the world, right? So I think it's good. It's good that it happened. Yeah. So, and it's okay to get riled up. Is that how you actually spell that? Because I always wonder how you spell that word. I'm gonna write that down, look it up. So anyways, you guys, and then you get challenges in your life. So people lie to you, and I just try to smile through it. Yeah, you know what, Dawn? I'm glad that you said that, because that's actually come up for me in the past couple weeks. Several people have lied to me, and I'm an intuitive, so I know immediately when I'm being lied to. So it's a great practice for me to take the high road, right, and send that person love and compassion, for not having the courage. I was going to say balls, but courage, to be honest, right? And then I also have to admit what made this person lie to me, because being accountable, I understand that when people lie to me, it's because of my personality too. I have the type of personality that you better tell me what I want to hear sometimes, right? So people are more likely to lie to me. Hey, Katie Moore, I love you. People are prone to lie to me because they're trying to please me. So I have to take my role in it. So you have to really take it with a grain of salt, or sometimes the whole salt shaker. So yeah, I mean, it's hard when people lie to me, because it was like, it's like, well, I guess they felt like that's how they needed to patch that out. And that's fine. That was their choice. But yeah, I mean, right away. Like, I think I had to have been a detective in one of my past lives, because, it's so obvious to me. So anyways, I know I miss you too. I will try to do more live hangouts. I wish that you would have been in my last one, because I got a new deck. But I'll make sure, as soon as we survive, successfully thrive through the 64 days of peace and nonviolence, we'll be sure to pull oracle cards, whatever time is good for you. But yeah, so we only have like 20 some more days. That's it. So anyways, thank you everyone for joining me. Yeah, you just have to people watch, and yeah, don't let it ruin your whole day. Yeah, you have to practice detachment, and just really be the observer. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, lying is interesting. And then the other thing that several people do to me too recently, and it's cute. It is really cute when people want to like stop following me. They feel the need to tell me. Like, and it's adorable. It really is. That they want to like, well, we're just not going to be friends anymore, but I just wanted to let you know. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to just not allow myself to feel rejected. And you just have to let people be people, you guys. It's wonderful practice. That's the only word that I'm left with people at this point, is practice. Thank you for giving me practice, right? At just loving you no matter what. So Mr. Joe Fix-It on Twitter tweeted the other day, There's two reasons, and now I'm going to totally screw it up, but it was basically like there's two reasons why we don't trust people. One, because we don't know them, and two, because we know them. So I mean, it was really funny. And so I tweeted back like, yep, and the work is to love them either way. Because, right, that's the struggle. I think that's why I said, yep, that's my struggle. You can't trust people because you don't know them, and then you get to know them, and then you can't trust them because you know them. Yeah. So anyways, the practice is, I do have a point. The practice is to love them anyways. So if we can just love people anyways, even if they're saying things without thinking, even if they're lying to your face, even if whatever, our practice is to love them anyways. The practice of unconditional love, the practice of being the source of all, right? The source of all loves us no matter what. So it's really admirable for us as humans to try to practice that. And we're not going to be perfect, but it's just the practice. So anyways, you guys, thank you so very, very much. Yeah. And you just try to love anyways. Just try to love anyways. It's hard, but it feels good. At the end of the day, it's your heart, it's your thoughts. So it's like you just have to ask yourself, at the end of the day, what do I want to be thinking and what do I want to be feeling? It doesn't matter what anyone does to me. At the end of the day, when I fall asleep, I want to have love in my heart. So I just try to find things to love all day long. I just try to find things to love. So that's the work, right? Humility enough, accountability. I hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. Thank you guys so, so very much. Thank you for joining me. And I will be back tomorrow morning. All right. And you be sure to watch the Oracle message for the week. That really hit home for me. It really did. So you guys, I love you so much, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks. Bye, Twitter. All right. Bye, you guys. I'll see you again soon. So much love.